Yeah. Oh! Oh, jeez. Oh! Jeez. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, jeez. Hey. How did you get in here? Right over my shoulder. Want to talk about boss mechanics? The other day, after the new raid came out, my friend and I had a conversation about clock position mechanics. Namely, he hated that every extreme and savage fight in Shadowbringers, give or take a few exceptions, had the players put down a giant number 1 and stand around it, and everybody grab your clock positions every single freaking fight. Just so at some random part of the encounter, everyone can go to their pre-established safe space so they'll only get hit by their own big bad sparkly pizza slice. And at face value, my friend's complaint about this big bad sparkly pizza slice is really solid. Why did nearly every single fight in Shadowbringers force all players to stand around and pick a corner or a cardinal? It seems like an arbitrary prerequisite that needs to be set at the beginning of the fight.
Alright everybody, get around the number 1 so we know where to go whenever Hades uses Shadow Spread. Jimmy, are you there? Hey Jimmy, could you stand around the number 1? Jimmy!
I mean, it's the same rationality the game developers must have used when they decided to remove, using stone skin and protection, right? It was an arbitrary, required setup that needed to be done before every fight that really just wasted people's time. But even with all this ballast, I can't hate clock position mechanics. I even like them. But why? Well, that has an incredibly simple answer. I love every single mechanic in every single boss fight in this entire game, in a vacuum. Like, for example, on Emerald Weapon, everyone has to grab a clock position for one mechanic in Phase 2, where Emerald Weapon hits every player with a line attack that's like 1 pixel thick. So everyone can kind of just, stay stacked south. But in Party Finder, we're all still doing the clock position shuffle, stand around the number 1 before we can pull. Also, I know people in JP or EU are freaking saints of the universe where everyone has a macro and no one ever stands around the number 1 to determine where their spot in a fight is. Hee hee hoo hoo, good for you. But over here in America, it is what it is. But then we look at a fight like Thanjeet. The personification of Rin's daddy issues. Well, lucky for you, Gaia, you picked a winner. In this encounter, this is Thancred over here, has 3 different kinds of clock position mechanics, depending on his element. And every player does something different for all 3, depending on their role, and where they're standing, and on what mechanic he's going to use next. Which all leads to a culmination at the end of the fight where he uses all of the different elements back to back to back, so the players have to weave between these different variants of the mechanic in their minds, as well as in-game quickly, and if anybody messes up, it's basically a wipe. This whole process, called phases, by the way, results in Final Fantasy's equivalent of cock and ball torture for a good 45 seconds straight before we get a break. And then the boss starts spamming AoEs until he enrages and kills the group. Also, he has a voice that just makes me want to say, "Only I can protect her!" Ooh. Yes, Daddy. This boss and his back-to-back mechanics with punishment if one player messes up is kind of something I'm into. Sort of like cock and ball torture that not everybody else is into, and that's okay. And I feel the same way about every single mechanic in this entire game. A stat can be good or bad. A spread can be good or bad. A knockback, a proximity meter, same deal. I'd go on, but
Yes, because there's only like 4 mechanics, 14 music.
This game only has 4 mechanics. And then, like a chef cooking a fine lasagna, the raid designers layer mechanics together and make sequences like Light Rampant, which I loved, but for most people, it was just... So... You wanna read some Grahatia hentai? I'm just asking, right? It's not a big deal, right? Don't make it weird. You're making it, it's not weird, right? So no? No? No, no. Oh. Okay. Hey, this is just me at the end of the video, and I just wanted to thank all my viewers. Thank you so much for watching my content. Every like, subscription, and comment, it really means a lot, way more than you think, from just pressing a button or writing a word or two. It means a lot to me. If you're an active viewer of mine, I'm sorry about the inconsistency of my upload schedule. I'm working on that right now, actually. I'm trying to get better at that. And I thank you for sticking around and watching my videos. And if you want me to talk about something, I'd love to hear any suggestions for other videos to make in the comments below. Also, if you want a suggestion, I recommend watching my water level video. I worked really hard on it, and I think it's really a great video. I think you should check it out. I used some footage from some other YouTubers, and their links to their pages is in the comments below. And I gotta say one more time, thank you so much for watching my content.